Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So, welcome to our first mindful meet of our Solstice Strengthening series. So, these virtual mindful meets are just meant to be an additional support for your mindful embodiment journey, for your yoga journey, in the form of additional practices. So, these will basically just be me coming on, offering you a practice, maybe speaking a little bit about them, giving you a little information about background of why we're doing the specific one, a little bit about the meditation itself. But mostly this is just going to be about half an hour of a guided practice for you. So I'll have these recorded so that they can go into the community space so that you can come back to them time and time again. Or if you can't make these live, know that they will be recorded in our community space to access. There's some from last year, and we'll have one more for our challenge. So we'll have two total throughout our 8 weeks together. And today's is going to be centered around a meditation that I felt was really perfect for just the timing of everything that's happening in the world with elections and just the controversy with politics. And I don't mean to bring politics up, but like everything has gotten to be political. Everyone has to, you can always reference, oh, it's political, but like these are just coming down to values now, where I want to touch on this specific meditation because I feel like it can be so helpful for the people that may be struggling with just everything that's been happening over the last couple of months, over the last week, with again elections and all of that excess that's come from that in terms of the negativity, the outcome, whatever you feel about that, right? This is just a really great practice, regardless of what side you fall on in that realm. And that's all I'll say about that. But I just felt it was a really great one to bring forward. Perfect timing. So this is called the mother meditation, and it's a Tibetan Buddhist practice that is one of many that's designed to help us build our capacity for compassion. So that was where I felt like this was a really great timed meditation for, like I said, everything we're going through, of just building compassion for other people, for ourselves, right? And so to do this mindfulness practice, you don't have to be Buddhist or Tibetan, and all of us can benefit from the practice geared towards just opening our heart. So that's what this is about, is it's about opening our hearts. And why should we increase our capacity for compassion? Well, all of our happiness comes not from worrying about me and mine, right? But from caring about others. So the two go hand in hand. You get happiness from doing things that are, yes, focused on you and what makes you happy and your sole individual, but then you also get happiness from caring for others, right? It can't just be one or the other. And when we place ourselves first, we enforce the mistaken notion that we are separate from others. So that's what happens when you kind of choose the one over the other. You choose yourself over others. You get this mistaken notion that you're separate from others. And that happiness is limited. When you're separate from others, it really limits the scope of what you can feel in terms of your happiness. And so by placing care for others first, we remember that all beings are connected, and that contentment, love, and happiness are available in abundance, right? There's not a limited amount of this, it's available in abundance. The more we share, the more we have to give, right? In particular, the mother meditation, this meditation we're about to do, asks us to view each being in the world as someone who once gave us infinite love and care. We strive to repay their kindness by being kind in return. So that's kind of the concept here. If each of us were to apply the principle of the mother meditation, of what we're about to do in our daily lives, we can live in a world where everyone is kind and everyone respects each other. That's kind of the idea, right? Of being able to encompass compassion and being able to tap into that in your daily life. And so thus we begin to see how increasing our own personal capacity for compassion can create a more compassionate world, right? It starts with us. The mother meditation begins with the premise that all beings everywhere have at one point been our mother. If you do not believe in past or future lives, you can simply imagine that this is the case for the purpose of the exercise, right? So just kind of let that be the purpose for this exercise. if past and future lives aren't really there for you. Traditionally, though, Tibetan Buddhists believe in the infinite past lives with no beginning. And thus, logically, if we have been infinite beings in the past with infinite mothers, it only makes sense that those we meet in this life have at one point been our mother, right? And as our mother, all beings at one point cared for us and ensured our survival. Our mothers devoted their bodies to our development and care. They fed us and clothed us and protected us from harm in ideal cases. They loved us, even if we have a challenging relationship with mothers. We must concede that without her care in our earliest days of existence, we wouldn't have survived. We recognize that all beings, all of whom have been our mother, only want the same things we do, right? They want to be happy and they want to be free from their pain. So we begin to develop a deep desire to repay our mother's kindness by growing our own capacity for compassion and by leading them from their pain and to happiness. We make a promise to treat all humans, all beings with the love our mothers deserve. So what would it be like if we walked around daily with deep gratitude and compassion for all beings as if they were our mother? So we're going to try to tap into this with our following exercise, this mother meditation. And so if you haven't done so already, I invite you to get into a comfortable space where maybe you have a pillow or a little bolster underneath the hips to give a little bit of a lift, get comfortable in a seat, or even invite you to lay down or maybe support your back against a seat or a wall, right? Any position that's going to help you get comfortable here and drop in. So take a moment to do so, kind of set the mood if you need to dim the lights, you need to put on some nice sounding music, light a candle, any of that stuff. Get cozy, right? Get comfortable, free from distraction, and start to open yourself up to the possibility that you have lived countless past lives. And start to consider the logic that if you've lived infinite lives, each being you meet today must have been your mother in a past life. So as you start to close the eyes here, and just with those thoughts in the back of the mind, just kind of being the precursor going into this meditation, I want you to just simply start to take a scan of the body, starting at the crown of the head and allowing the muscles just to start to relax a little deeper, get a little heavier. So maybe from the crown of the head, you feel this kind of melting of your scalp. So you start to relax the forehead, the cheekbones, the jaw, the muscles in the neck start to relax as the collarbone melts away, the shoulders a little bit more relaxed. The arms maybe just heavy into the lap or heavy beside you as you allow that feeling of melting and the body relaxing to travel down into the torso. If you're lying on your back, maybe you feel the body getting a little heavier into the earth. If you're on your seat, maybe just feeling the sit bones melting, getting grounded a little deeper into the floor beneath you. As you let that ease of releasing tension, that scan continue down the body and let the legs get a little heavier, the calves a little looser, the feet just splay out. Maybe you even wiggle the toes, kind of getting any of those last little adjustments out to release any of that last little bit of energy down through the toes, to the bottom of the feet. And as you take your next inhale, take a deep breath in through the nose as you fill up the lungs. And then exhale, let it go out the mouth, a big sigh. Take two more like that. Inhale through the nose as you fill the lungs, maybe sit up a little taller. And then exhale, let it go. One more like that. Inhale through the nose, fill the lungs, feel the ribs expand as you sit tall, creating space to fill up. And then exhale, letting the body relax, feeling heavy as you empty the lungs. Starting to seal up the lips. We'll take that inhale in through the nose and let it fall back out through the nose. Few rounds of breath there as we inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing this breath here, allowing it to become a little more natural as you're not afraid to let that exhale linger, let it fall out. As you let this breath be your anchor throughout our time together here, start to bring your awareness back to the depth of sacrifices a mother makes for her child. Start to consider the dependency a child has on their mother. So what is the give and take between child and mother on both sides? Maybe that's a mother sacrificing a job, a schedule that has to be changed. Maybe sacrificing certain aspects of her body, certain aspects of selflessness. And then that dependency of the child, safety, nurturing, someone to clothe you, shelter you, feed you, teach you. As you reflect on this give and take between child and mother, start to feel a deep sense of gratitude welling from inside. This gratitude for all that those mother figures have given you, have given up to show you safety, to show you love, to show you kindness. And notice with this gratitude comes a desire to repay the kindness of your mothers. See if you can make a promise to yourself to do all in your power to repay your mothers by helping them achieve the same thing we all want: freedom from pain and a life full of happiness. So as you allow that gratitude, that desire to repay kindness fill within you, imagine it's blooming from the inside like a bright light flower, blooming from the heart center and expanding with warmth into the body. And as that warmth, that flower blooms, that loving and that kindness, picture every person you may interact with in a single day. As you picture these people, these strangers, or maybe people you know, start to envision them as someone you would interact with being your mother. Everyone you see on your commute, the barista making your coffee, your coworkers, your housemates, your own children, were all at one time your mother. Feel a deep sense of compassion for them and a deep sense of gratitude as it builds and fills the body. Imagining maybe how that loving, nurturing mother has interacted with you, and how can you repay that to these strangers, to these people you interact with every day. And reflect on now how you can maybe interact with them as if it's your top priority to repay their kindness for countless past lifetimes of love and care. And so, as this gratitude, as this sense of wanting to repay their kindness builds up within you and fills the body, maybe start to think of ways: how can I save this person from pain? How can I bring them happiness? It doesn't have to be big. It can be as simple as a smile, a kind gesture, doing no harm, just being kind with your words, with your actions. So think of the small ways that you can share this kindness, this love. And if this has been kind of hard to do, if you've been feeling some resistance as we worked through this meditation, I encourage you here to first then ask, how can you do this for yourself? How can you start with yourself here? How can you see yourself as a loving mother and repay that kindness to yourself? Because by cultivating that compassion for yourself within yourself first, you can then feel in a space to share with others. I know that can be hard sometimes. So as you allow this blooming of this light, of this flower to just spread through the body, that loving, that kindness, that gratitude, that desire to repay that mother figure, let that fill the body. And again, maybe you direct that towards how you can be compassionate with yourself first. In the most littlest of ways, giving yourself a hug, taking a break for self-care during your day, setting boundaries, not being hard on yourself. But all these are also ways that we can show love to others. So let this loving kindness, this feeling of nurturing and safety from a mother's love, fill the body. And as you exhale, allow it to start to expand from you into the world. Let that energy trickle out and touch those around you in your community, in your building, beyond, in your town. One more breath like that. Big inhale. And exhale. Feel that energy trickling out, being put to work. And then I want you to bring your awareness back to that light at the heart center of your chest here. As you notice that light, big and bright, having fueled it during our time together, notice that light also being what is your highest light, your highest version of yourself. That's what this light represents. So as you acknowledge that, as you acknowledge that you've spent this time here fueling it, feeling this light get bigger and brighter and expanding beyond you, or maybe just encompassing you in a little sweet cocoon of your own for now, whichever feels best for you during this practice. Allow that light to expand into the body, travel into the limbs, and as it does, it's awakening a familiar energy within you. This is your unique energy that you were born into this world with, that you get to take out into the world and share with others, your essence, your uniqueness, your spirit. Be reminded of that here as it awakens with this light, as this energy and this light travel into the body and wash over you from head to toe like a wave of sunshine. Notice this being a reminder of your full body awareness from what you get to take away from your practice. how you get to take this energy out into the world. As you feel this light fill the body, as this energy, your unique energy, fills the body, maybe you start to awaken a little, preparing yourself for the day with a wiggle in the fingers, a wiggle in the toes. Maybe start to kind of roll the wrists out, the neck out, shoulders out, stretch the body out. So just being slow and gentle here. Any little movements that are feeling good to take and awaken the body. Go ahead and do so now. And just taking your time to feel a bit of awakening into the body. You're welcome to stay here, laying if you're laying down or with your eyes closed. And I invite you to take hands to heart chest. Just honor this time that you've spent here, prioritizing a space to quiet the mind, to quiet the body, just tap inward, and to cultivate compassion. Such an important factor in our world today that a lot of people don't realize they don't have a strong practice in. So I'm proud of you for showing up today, for taking this time to build upon this practice. As you take your next inhale, breathe in, fill up, and exhale, release any expectation of how this practice will support you, will show up for you moving forward. One more big inhale, breathe this in. And exhale, let it go. The light within you shines so brightly, as I see it also within me, connecting us as one as human. But I'm so thankful for your unique energy showing up to be shared here today in this space together, and for allowing me to guide you through this practice. Always such a pleasure. Thank you so much. Namaste. So I will leave you here to take the rest of your time, whether you want to stay relaxed or do some more stretching or continue with whatever practice comes next. But I look forward to seeing you next time for our next mindful meet, where we might do more of a visualization practice or a different breathwork practice, tapping into something different, but still meditative, still mindfulness. So I will make this recording available for you guys to come back to if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, I encourage you to keep tapping into your practice of compassion with yourself as well as with others, because it's going to need both to create our overall happiness. And I hope you have a wonderful day. See you next time.